Can you live with that? Can you live with that? Franchise record passing, 4 touchdowns. Danny shut it down yesterday. Jerry Jeudy had more receiving yards yesterday than Deshaun Watson threw for all season for the Browns in any one game. You had everything. Defense, at times. Damn pick sixes. What did Jameis say after the game? He goes, Lord, save me from the pick sixes. If only. Browns are that close, man. I think we all come away from that game saying that was kind of fun. That was kind of a fun game. You still lost. I don't like that we lost. But the fact that you were competitive, you would, I don't know what, right, 8 out of 10 times win that football game with your quarterback damn near throwing for 500 yards, big plays left and right, and you still fall. You still fall to the Denver Broncos. And I think that's another thing to take out of that game. You didn't you didn't go toe-to-toe with Josh Allen. That wasn't Lamar Jackson that put up a bunch of points. I'm not crapping up Bo Nix. But the pick sixes did you in last night, and you fall to the Broncos. And it's like, it's frustrating because you see those are games you should win. And at this point where, Ryan already looked at the draft order. And if you're in for tanking, then that's a perfect game. You showed some life there with Jerry Jeudy. Jameis kind of had a Jameis type of game. And you got close, and you kind of feel good about it. It was entertaining for us to stay up to almost damn near midnight watching that game. But it wasn't enough, and you didn't get the win. And all the conversation will all come back to what are the Browns going to do with Jameis Winston? And all he's done is shown that is what he's going to do, right? Set your franchise record. The question remains, though. If he had gotten the starts, where would you be? Or if he is your starter next year, do you make the playoffs with Jameis Winston? Is that something that if day one next year, they don't draft a quarterback high, you bring back, a good chunk of this team, you add a first-round offensive tackle or a wide receiver, would Jameis Winston take you to the playoffs playing like he did last night? We'll discuss that. We might have to have an uncomfortable truth conversation here about Nick Chubb after that game yesterday. I think we all saw the graphic. He was not out there for 20-odd-some plays. We'll discuss that. Recapping Monday Night Football. Cavs back in action tonight. Man, do the Wizards suck. But little interest. Did you see somebody the Cavs might be keeping some tabs on moving towards the trade deadline? We'll get to that coming up. We got the bracket. We'll get to time up. We got the morning update. We got to go around the league. Remind everybody of our Donovan Mitchell jersey giveaway. We'll set the bracket later. A busy day for us right here on Big Play. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am Matt Fontana. Hey, is Ryan Tyler. Hey, chilly good morning to all here as we're probably dragging a little bit, staying up for Monday Night Football. But happy to have you alongside. You can be following on Twitter X at Matt Fontana Show. You want to get in for our Donovan Mitchell jersey giveaway. A couple of weeks ago, Ryan and I got the Immaculate Grid 5 days in a row. Somebody out there is going to win a Donovan Mitchell jersey. Go follow at Matt Fontana 83. Ryan is at Ryan Tyler 33. Hit the retweet on the tweet, and you're in. That's it. You have a chance to win that. We'll announce that on Friday. We're also up on Twitch at Matt Fontana Show, YouTube, Instagram, or at Big Play. Ken had a great tweet, too. He goes, a lot of people, how many hundreds of people do? Well, that's the Jameis Winston experience. Well, that's what you kind of sign up for with Jameis Winston. And 8 times out of 10, you're winning that football game. Right? You throw for that amount of yards. If you take away just one of those pick sixes, we're singing a different tune today. And I hate moral victories. I hate sitting there going, well, this looked all right, but we still lost the game. But at this point of the juncture, at this point of the season for this team, moral victories are kind of all I have, right? We're not going to the playoffs. Are we eliminated officially after that loss?
It's a great question.
I think we are.
No, I doubt it. But
going in, we had like a 0.2% chance. You needed five other things, right, crazy things to happen. I think we needed to win out.
No, we are not eliminated.
So you're telling me there's a chance? No. So we knew where this season was at.
A 9-loss playoff team?
The problem is you can't win the division now at this point. What you need is, and that was the whole crux of why we're not going to make it, you need the Steelers and the Ravens to both lose out. you beat them, you get the tiebreakers over them, and win your division. That's it. That's the only way. And trust me, we all know it's not happening. But you ask yourself, you watch how Jameis plays, and the evaluation of the rest of this year, you think instantly about young guys. Mike Woods had a fine game yesterday. Are you singing a different tune about Elijah Moore after this stretch here with Jameis Winston? The offensive line, there was some, Benito, knew that was going to happen. And he beat Fetty a couple of times, whatever, all right. But you think about the evaluation so much of young guys, and maybe we missed that mark a little bit of that evaluation of Jameis Winston. And finding out when we have darn near 10 years of experience of him in the league, but to see him in this offense, to go, he can move us up and down the field. He can get us there. Now, are you going to want to fall into a trap of him throwing? How many times did he throw it? 45 times last night?
No, more than that.
Hang on. Pull up the box.
I think it was 50-something.
Was it? 58 times.
Man.
58 times you chucked that ball.
That's what I like to see.
I mean, but is that sustainable?
I mean, no, it's
Probably
obviously not sustainable.
And that was that game. That was
but for the first time for the first time this season, really, and you'll agree with this, everybody agrees with this, you didn't want to rip your eyeballs out. It was fun watching the game. You actually had the ball getting moved down the field, and the best part of it was people were actually getting schemed open. And the Broncos defense isn't a joke. We know that. It looked like a real NFL offense. You looked like you had a real quarterback that could orchestrate said offense, and you reap the benefits of it with the pieces like Jerry Jeudy, like Michael Woods, like Elijah Moore, right? Everybody looked fantastic on offense.
And this
David
is unfair.
Njoku.
Well, and that's the thing.
I mean, this is now 2 times in the last 2 years.
Told you.
This is the last 2 times in 2 years now that David Njoku has looked all pro with a quarterback not named Deshaun Watson. But when he's with Deshaun Watson, he looked like a tight end that's getting dramatically overpaid.
So I was trying to look this up. When's the last time we've had 2 100-yard receivers?
Probably, I don't think you did it last year.
I'm sure the Browns sent out their post-game notes. Interceptions. We went in that game with 2 interceptions on the year and got Bo Nix twice. That's a ward, man.
He's so good. He's so good.
Oh, my God, what a play that was. So good. And so I was looking through to see, when's the last time we've had 2 100-yard receivers? He threw 4 touchdowns in that game. 4. The pick sixes. That's it. And the last interception, which is all that did was screw your backdoor cover up and all that. But, some of the throws, it's easy for me sitting on my brother-in-law's couch last night for him and I to go, no, he's right there. Welcome to the Jameis Winston experience. Yeah. Our first 2 for Tuesday. If Jameis Winston was named the starter for the Cleveland Browns Week 1, 2025, do you believe he could take you to the playoffs? Do you believe that Jameis Winston would take the Browns to the playoffs next year? Now, you really want to dice that on up? Well, Matt, who are they going to draft? And what other positions would we get? And what's the defense look like? Sure. Just on what you've seen from Jameis, do you think he could take this team to the playoffs? Because if you wanted to be negative on it, you would say exactly, they lost. They lost. You can throw for all the livelong day that you want. You lost. And the pick sixes is what killed you. One of them, one was a really good play. Yeah. All right. The other one, he just didn't see that guy. And that happens. And when you throw it near 60 times in a game, you're going to have turnovers, especially a quarterback like Jameis. I told you, I can't remember who it was. I picked this up from Gibbs, and he said, we talked to, I think it was Kevin Harlan. And he goes, Jameis, rule of 4. I don't know what the 4 are going to be. It could be 4 touchdowns, no interception. It could be 4 interceptions. It could be 2 and 2, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. That's the world that you live. But the other thing about the Jameis conversation, there is nothing in this world that drives Kevin Stefanski bonkers more than turnovers.
Probably coaching Deshaun Watson is a little worse for him personally. I'm not even saying that as a jaded Browns fan. I'm saying as a guy who we know absolutely hates turnovers, and Jameis Winston is the epitome of a turnover. It comes with good and bad, as we all know. But it's better that you have the chance for the touchdowns. With Deshaun Watson, it was nothing.
Right, and that's where one of the changes that you see watching Jameis play, he goes through his reads.
Yes.
He goes through his reads.
That's the biggest thing. And even on the one, that one, the first pick six was ugly. He stared down the receiver for about 5 seconds. Yeah. That was ugly. Whatever, it happens, right? How many touchdowns did he throw? 3, 4? What was it, 4?
He threw 4.
Yeah.
2 to Njoku, Judy, and then Nick Chubb got him.
Like this, we're not saying this isn't any new revelation. We're not out here saying, and nobody is, that Jameis Winston is the next coming. He's 30 years old. He's probably reached, to a point, a peak in his career.
You know what you got.
But listen, when you're talented enough, you have that's the recipe, right?
Yeah.
If your defense is good enough, you have a good offensive line, you can overcome some of those adversities that your quarterback puts you in. Obviously, that's not going to take you to the promised land. But dude, what we've been watching for the last 10 weeks before Jameis got in here, it was miserable.
Well, and the funny thing is, and I know that they sacked him a couple of times, and Benito was a wreck. But the offense, there was time. He had plenty of time in that pocket. And I was trying to look for next-gen stats about how much time he had to throw.
Yeah,
but a lot of that is a change of what? He's in the pocket. They know where he is. He didn't take any, really bad shots. And he also was able to evade a couple, get the ball. The one, though, that he got sacked, and you could tell he was trying to throw it. I was like, no. I was like, just go down. Just take the sack, right? Yeah, when you're sitting back and they're pinning their ears back going, well, they're just going to throw here, then that helps the defense a lot.
Right.
And it's hard because you also want to sit there and say, take away 14 points, all right, on the 2 pick sixes. That defense still gave up 26 points? My math is off. 27 points, right? Knicks threw the 1 touchdown, and they had 2 rushing touchdowns. The fullback and Javonte Williams got in there. So if you want to look at the defensive side of things, but it's hard because I sit there and they say, you kept Bo Nix under 300 yards. Did the defense do enough to win? Obviously not, but it's it just kind of comes back to living and dying with Jameis Winston. And I also don't want to fall into a trap in saying that this is sustainable just because of how bad things were prior. I have to try to look at this objectively and say, number one, there is a reason Jameis was available and why he was here as a backup, okay? Number two, how many games can you really go out there and say, we're going to throw it 50 times and that be a recipe for success?
At least you have the option.
That's another good point. You weren't going to be able to do that with Dorian Thompson-Robinson. You're not doing that with Deshaun Watson right now. And that is what that game necessitated. You just had to do that, frankly, because you could not run the football last night. That was putrid. Could not run the ball last night. And I try to sit there and ask our question this morning as our 2 for Tuesday. If Jameis was your week 1 starter next year, could he take you to the playoffs?
Yeah.
And the problem is, and why I'm going to vote no, is I've seen too much. Not just here, but I think I've seen too much. And you could come back and say, well, Jameis has made the playoffs before, and the gunslinger mentality, it would not be easy. That would be your blood pressure. Kevin Stefanski would probably have a heart attack if he had to coach Jameis Winston for a whole season. And I don't want to get trapped into it just looks better than it did prior to sit there and say all of our problems are solved.
Well, I'm not going to say they're going to make the playoffs because I don't know. So much could happen. But do I think Jameis Winston would probably next year, given your limited options at quarterback, assuming you're not going to get Cam or Shador, and even if you did at that point, I mean,
that's over. Yeah, I'm done with that.
And even if you did, it'd be nice to come in, but I'm not going to sit here and expect a rookie quarterback to take us to the playoffs regardless. But I think Jameis Winston would certainly give you the better chance out of the free agent quarterbacks that we're looking at, right? I mean, maybe if you get Darnold in here, okay, sure, that could possibly happen, but it's not like we've seen some elite ceiling with him. He's been in the league now, 6-7 years?
Yeah.
And then what else? I mean, the Kirk Cousins route, okay. I mean, look what he's doing this year, but that's fine.
Why not let Jameis Winston be your Sam Darnold? Have a career resurgence here. You've had him here. You've been in the system, I guess.
And obviously, I'm not going to sit here and say you're going to win a lot of games and go to the playoffs if you're throwing 2 pick sixes a game, but I don't think it's reasonable to think that he's going to do that every game. I mean, yeah, he's going to throw a pick here and there, but 2 pick sixes, I think that's more of an anomaly than it seems to be. And also, I mean, look what you did with Joe Flacco. Yeah, he wasn't throwing as many pick sixes, but he was damn near throwing just as many interceptions. The thing is, you had a better defense last year. They weren't
right.
You weren't blowing coverages every single game. Now that's a pattern, Matt. So now I'm not even as concerned I am about the quarterback because that's the most important position. I'm sitting here today seeing yesterday, I'm looking at Jim Schwartz. I'm looking at that secondary. They've taken a major decline. That's honestly what I'm more worried about going into next season. As crazy as that sounds, but if you think about it, I mean, as good as Denzel Ward is, another concussion, who knows what happens with him? Greg Newsome, Martin Emerson's losing money every Sunday. I mean, listen, I'm almost more concerned about that than the quarterback right now.
Well, and that's where you're talking about, are you really going to be able to solve everything going into next year? And you're right. Jameis right now is not under contract, but it seems like that's an availability thing. Like maybe they could re-sign him to a deal right now. Who knows? We'll see how it plays out. But you're right. Like he seems to fit for the now. And I don't want it lost either. Even if you were to go vote on our Twitter question this morning, let me retweet that real quick. I'm at Fontana
Dude, the
Show.
Vikings are 10-2.
But like
I know it's not the same. It's not apples to apples, but the formula is there.
The other thing you got to look at too, it doesn't have to be permanent. It doesn't have to be that we're going to put all our eggs into Jameis Winston for 5 years.
And real quick, I'll also say,
be your bridge. And to your point, that you could do worse on your bridges.
It doesn't have to be permanent, and it also doesn't have to be pretty. That's the thing for me. I don't care how we win. I just want to win. And I understand sometimes it's ugly with Jameis Winston, but that's how it goes. And when we're talking about how far hopefully, it seems like we're very, very, very far set back because of Deshaun Watson. Like, that's not something you're going to overcome. Yes, he is the albatross. Except not in golf, because that's good in golf.
I was going to say that. When I think of albatross, I think of a good thing on a crazy shot in golf.
Right, but as far as potentially as that set us back, that contract, right, that's not something you can overcome in a season. That's just unrealistic to expect.
And that could be the thing. The Browns' priority, is it just to get through this Deshaun Watson stuff, or are you trying to compete? You can't just chalk this up and say, we're just not going to compete next year. Jack Duffin, when he comes out with this, he screams about this, and he's right. The Browns can't just sit there and throw their hands up for 2025 and say, well, we really can't win. It's almost like your fate is decided because you got to carry this Deshaun Watson contract. That's not reality. You have got to try to find the pieces to go compete next year. Now, you don't have the luxury of picking top shelf items and bringing in all this trade, so you got to do the best with what you have. And with what you have, it might just be Jameis Winston. And he might be the best. He might be the best option that you have compared to other free agents or drafted quarterbacks or whatever else that you look at. But you go off of last night's game, and I'll flip to the other side on the hope of Jameis Winston. It looks like an NFL offense.
It looks great.
It looks like an NFL offense. When you can get down the field, Dustin Hopkins missing that kick earlier, but whatever, fine. Like, to get them down the field, to continue to get them in positions. And you could also, as conversation I had somebody this morning via text, there's only a special group of people that can text the show. You know, when I worked with Munch, he used to give out his phone number on the air. People used to text him and call him during the show. Because, like, I don't know if you're a true Clevelander unless you have Munch Bishop's phone number.
I don't have. I'll admit I do not have Munch Bishop's phone number.
Just so you have it. But I was texting somebody this morning, and they go, isn't it actually another feather in the cap of Jameis Winston that he was able to continue to throw when they knew he was going to throw?
Yeah.
It's a little harder to do that when they had no fear of the run game. But it's easier for a quarterback in 4-minute and 2-minute offense. That's a little college. You spread it out, and that's not quite what I think Kevin Stefanski wants to do. But you watch that game, and at least it looked like an NFL offense. Jerry Jeudy looked like a receiver. Elijah Moore looked like a receiver. David frickin' Njoku looked like the elite tight end that you believe he can be.
Yeah, and I understand how big pick sixes are, and this isn't me trying to just put makeup over a black eye. Like, I know that's a huge deal. Don't get me wrong. But that first pick six Jameis threw, right? What was there, a little minute and change left in the first half?
Yeah.
Went right down and drove and scored another touchdown. Yeah. Like, his memory is so short. His memory is so short.
And it has to be, and especially for a guy like him who has thrown a lot of interceptions, if there's anybody, and this isn't a shot at our friend Jameis Winston and big play employee Jameis Winston. If anybody would be experienced of getting past interception, it would be him. And that's, you live with it to a point, and there's going to be games that cost you. Are there games that you look at and you say, we win because of Jameis Winston? Make no mistake, you're not going very far in today's NFL unless you have a quarterback that you can say without a doubt is part of winning. There are some games that Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson single-handedly win. And there's in no world that I would put him in those conversations with those guys. But you got to ask yourself, at the end of the day, if he started 17 games for the Browns, give me 5 that he is just like a non-factor, okay? So then you have 12. Can you really divide it up and say there are 6 games without an unequivocal doubt he won us that football game, and then there's probably 6 that you go, he lost us that game? That's the ratio that I'm looking at here with Jameis Winston. And what would that add up to? 9 wins probably, right? Yeah. If you take out a couple of wins of the 5 that he was a non-factor.
Dude, after what I've been subjected to for the last outside of Joe Flacco.
Take that out, Ryan, don't you? It's hard.
No, I don't.
It's hard.
I just had to watch it for 10 weeks. I'm not going to take it out.
But it's when you talk about the evaluation and what the team's going to be, I get it. We're all sitting here. We don't feel bad. This is not a dredge of a day.
But this evaluation of Jameis Winston, it's not like we have options. What options do we have?
You could do
Who are you gonna? You're gonna say Sam Darnold? Oh, so now we can do anything we want. Now we can do anything we want. But we were forced to watch Deshaun Watson and throw him in there and play the worst quarterbacking I've ever seen in my life.
I can't argue with that. So that's you know what happened there. I know what happened there.
That's when we were at our hands tied. But now we have options, right?
No, I'm just kidding. You don't have a lot of options. You're right. The drafted quarterbacks will be gone. If you want to take Will Howard in the 3rd round, fine, whatever. Curtis Rourke, sign him up, 5th round, whatever, fine. But he is your best option. You're going to talk yourself into it. And I'm not anti-Jameis. I'm fine with that. But I just was enough to sit there and say that this is a guy that can take you to the playoffs next year.
And I'm not saying that I know. Who am I to say he's going to quarterback us to the playoffs next season? Nobody. But dude, what more for what your potential options are next season? Rookie quarterback probably not happening, okay? We move on. What are your other options? Obviously, free agency, because it's not Deshaun and it's not DTR.
Sure.
Sorry, it's not Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Don't know what to tell you.
Well, there are some people that still, I mean, cut you off there. There's still people that want to see him get a couple of games here.
I don't.
Yeah, okay.
Keep giving it to Jameis. What are you going to get out of DTR that you haven't get out of Jameis?
Kind of agree.
You're not scoring more than 30 points.
Kind of agree.
So what am I looking at? I'm looking at Jameis Winston, who gives me the best chance, who makes Jerry Jeudy look phenomenal, by the way. I'm looking at who makes David Njoku look like Joe Flacco made him look. And I'm looking at what an offense under Kevin Stefanski has a potential to be. If my hands are that tied, I mean, what am I going to do here at quarterback?
No, and that's when you talk about where the Browns are at today. It's not good enough because you're not in a position to go to the playoffs. But you almost feel like there's 2 separate teams playing right now. The team that you had 2 months ago is not this same team. For better or for worse.
For way better.
For better.
You know why. And you know why.
Well, you're missing players. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah is not out there.
Give me a break.
Things are different. Things are different.
They are different.
And it is better. But again, the bar was so low, it was hard to not be better on that. And I'm trying to not just be jaded by that. I'm not trying, and that's going to be the hard evaluation when they sit there in the end. And don't forget this part of it too. Every time Jameis plays, I think he's adding money to that contract. And they have cap flexibility. People think they don't, but they do. And they'll eat a lot of the Watson money. But you got to remember, too, how many teams might come and call it now for Jameis Winston?
Nah. See, and that's a fair point, and I've heard that argument before. I just don't see a reality where a team's going to look at this as volatile as he is, right? And that's why we're talking about this discussion of him even not being the quarterback because of how volatile it is. I mean, what other team's going to look at this and be like, oh, yeah, now we can bring him in 30-plus years old, acclimate him into this system? I don't see that happening. I don't see a team being that after Jameis Winston.
See, the only thing that I would say that is you don't have 6 quarterbacks coming out of the draft like you did last year.
Yeah, and I understand.
So you're going to have teams that are sitting there, and yeah, you're like, a lot of teams are cinched up, right? And we run through that list of teams that need a coach, the teams that need a quarterback. The Jets will need one. The Giants will need one. The Raiders are going to need one. The Titans are going to need one. And then there's going to maybe be some other shocking ones. Derek Carr get released, but then he'll find a new home. You know, what happens with Darnold in Minnesota, all that. So there will be options, and this is not a draft that you expect to have, frankly, I don't even know if 3 guys are going in the first round. So there's going to be openings. And you're right. Is that enough for a team to sit there and go, we've seen enough? You know, we're in on Jameis Winston. Because the thing about Jameis, he still believes that he could be a starting level quarterback in the NFL. Yeah. And he has every right to believe that. He's 30 years old. He obviously can still sling it. He wants to get paid that way. It only takes one team to get suckered into that to think, you know what? He's got a little left in the tank. Yeah. And then that inherently will drive up the price. That's why I thought about another question we asked today. I don't want to go there, but I'll ask you right now. Would you sign him right now? Before you see any more games, before you let anybody else get in the fray.
To guarantee him on the team next year?
2-year deal.
Yeah, I would.
2 years. I don't know. $10 million?
If we can funnel $230 million into a quarterback that's not going to see the field, then what's stopping you from paying another $5-10 mil to keep him here for another 2 years?
Sure.
Like, that's ridiculous.
Would you do that today?
Yes.
To not let any other team get involved and to get Jameis the money that he's looking for?
It's a quarterback. It's not like I'm out here throwing franchise money. I already did that.
But you got to remember, too, Jameis could come back and say, now that I've got a little taste of this.
And if that happens,
I don't want a backup role anymore.
If that happens, then listen, he'll need a reality check. And some team will pay him the money, and then if that's the road we have to go down, God forbid, then yeah, we find another route. But I'm not going to operate as if that's going to be the case.
You know, I wonder where the Browns are at. I do, because you watch them play, and you see some plays that can help you win. Obviously, you see some that don't. Is that the business you want to be in for right now? Business is hard because of, Watson, again, and whatever we said. But is that a business that you want to be in for the foreseeable future, for at least the next couple of years?
But the thing,
and that doesn't mean you don't draft a quarterback in 26. It doesn't mean that you're not eventually going to find your guy. But for the right now, maybe this is a blessing. Maybe this is somehow finally the NFL gods smiling down on us and saying, you know what, we're going to give you what you need right now. I don't think we deserve it after taking the Deshaun Watson deal, and maybe we used up all our goodwill last year.
Yeah.
But maybe this was a perfect situation and a perfect time for Jameis Winston to be here to try to restart his career. That's what I'd tell him. Dude, come back, sign this deal right now. Offer him today a 2-year deal with some fat signing bonus and some guaranteed money. Sign this now. We promise you that you're our starter week 1. Can't promise anything beyond that, but we promise that you'll be our starter week 1. You'll probably play most of the year. Yeah. And after that, whether we draft a quarterback, whether we keep you around, you can still go off and try to continue to chase your dream as a starter. Is that good enough for Jameis Winston?
I would think it is, because of all the points you just said, right? You're playing goodish ball right now, right? For what you're getting paid, you're doing your job. 100%, you're excelling for what you're getting paid right now. I don't think there's any doubt about that. You don't just throw for 500 yards because you felt like it.
Right, it ain't easy to do.
And you're a living legend in the media right now. Let's not pretend he's not plastered across. He is.
Yeah,
and I'm saying for a guy who I know would probably want to go into media after. I'm just saying there's a lot of things going here, money aside. For a guy that's already a millionaire, and I understand once you see that bag in front of your face, it's hard to turn down. But for a guy that you're going to guarantee to be your start, not guaranteed to be your starter next year, but damn likely
to
be your starter for most of the season.
1,
yes, I mean, especially if you're extending the season, of course.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't see the team doing that.
Sure. We got a lot more to talk about this game. We got to have that uncomfortable conversation about Nick Chubb, about last night. We'll get to that coming up as well. Get to the Cavs tonight. They're taking on the Wizards. We get our parlay rocking. We got to go around the league. But we got to tell you about a great event with our friends at Fairway Ford. Folks, the best place to go for the F-150s, for the Expeditions, for the commercial vehicles. But part of being a family-owned and operated, 20-plus years, they give back to the community. And I'm so happy to announce, obviously today's Giving Tuesday. So if you're looking for an event, coming up on Saturday, December 21st. So we got a couple weeks to go. From 10 to 2, out there at Fairway Ford, it is the Fill the Trunk for Charity. They are going to be filling trunks of all the vehicles they can for the Animal Charity of Ohio. They're going to be helping to make a difference for all the animals here of Northeast Ohio and Mahoning County, the abused, the neglected, the abandoned animals. Those people that do that are the worst. And we're going to help those animals out with our friends at Fairway Ford. So you can go out there, again, December 21st from 10 to 2 to help them fill the trunk for charity, for the Animal Charity of Ohio, helping all those animals out here in Northeast Ohio. I did ask, and I'm trying to get some confirmation if there's a way that you can support without going we're getting confirmation on that because I hope even, we could do something. I mean, maybe we'll just head out there to be able to give something there. So again, Fill the Trunk coming up on December 21st at Fairway Ford to benefit Animal Charity of Ohio. You can go out there early. I'm sure if you walked out there to go get that new vehicle, they wouldn't mind if you drop some things off to help the Animal Charity. All the deals are flying right now at Fairway Ford. Folks, that's no different than any other time of the year. And you might get sucked in and go, oh, man, they got all these. There's great deals right now. There are fantastic deals. But, folks, think about Fairway Ford. They're making deals year-round because their inventory is vast. They have so many different vehicles out there for you. They're willing to part with these vehicles. They're willing to make the moves to get you the APRs as low as 1.9%, to get you up to $12,000 off that F-150. You always dream of it. I got my dream F-150, and I'll get it one day there at Fairway Ford. But you can go there, get the deals you're looking for, and sometimes they can add it on. I can't make any promises. And when you just go to Fairway Ford, here's what I can promise you. Number one, they make a lot of deals. All right, and they won't be beat on price. Number two, you're going to be met with a friendly face. You're going to be met with somebody that treats you like family because they themselves are a family. With this veteran sales staff, over half them been there 15 years selling vehicles at Fairway Ford. You're also not going to have the game playing. You shouldn't be in that dealership for 5 hours trying to get a vehicle. They don't play those games there. They don't trap you in the warranty office for an hour trying to sell you on the extended warranty, okay? Those are the promises I can make. Good vehicles, good people, and the best deal they can get you. It's that simple. That's all you could ever want in a dealership, and they have it for you at Fairway Ford. It's a short drive to Canfield, and trust me, it's a drive worth making because you're going to save yourself a lot of money. Pre-owned lot is stocked. The new vehicles are stocked. 2025s are coming in. Now's a great time. The Expedition, think about that Mustang, think about that Bronco, Raptor Ranger, got it all for you. They're friends at Fairway Ford. And again, we'll continue to remind you, but coming up December 21st, the Fill the Trunk for charity. And also, I didn't mention this. You can go there and get your pet picture with Santa. You got a dog, right, Ryan?
Yeah.
Take your dog out there. Go get a picture with
Santa.
No,
she would not like Santa.
What do you mean?
No.
Not a fan?
Big fat man, she'd be scared.
To be fair, well, that's okay. You can go out there and get your pet pictures with Santa the same day, December 21st from 10 to 2 out there in Canfield with our friends at Fairway Ford. Oh, it's hard to watch Nick Chubb, man. And there were a couple of runs that you're like, I hope he rips it off. And was it 25 straight plays he was not out there? And I get that game skewing towards the passing, that lens towards Jerome Ford, how he didn't get that first down. I actually liked the pitch. I liked that play call. You had one man that you had to beat to get that first down. Nick Chubb would have gotten you that first down, but I digress. That was a little sobering game there for Nick Chubb. And I have had the same mindset I'm going to keep here. Anything I got out of Nick Chubb was a bonus. He got in the end zone again last night, coming back off this knee injury. Hopefully a full offseason of rehab and strengthening can get him back. And I'm just going to grab onto that because it's easy for me to sit here and say I'm concerned about Nick Chubb's future. And I'm concerned about what I have seen from on the field. But I have to go back to how I felt when he first came back and saying he's not going to be the same right now. We would love that. And we would hope that he can get back there. But we just got to grab, because it'd be easy to sit there and say he's cooked, he's washed, they got to re-sign him. And I'm starting to get that uncomfortability that they're going to have to look at that and make a football decision. And that's going to pain me, and it's going to be one of my least favorite days as a Browns fan. And I hope that doesn't happen. But it's hard to watch that game and go, Ryan, it's not even that he's in there. He's not even on the field. They can't even put him on the field right now.
I mean, the run game is certainly an issue. And if you're going to, especially if you're rolling out with somebody like Jameis Winston next year, you got to be able to be diverse on offense to keep the defense on their toes. But I definitely would like to see an upgrade from Jerome Ford. The reason it's like with Nick Chubb, I understand how devastating that injury is. And you got to remember that, right? Like we're a year removed from it and some change, a couple months, right? Sure. Whatever it was. Like, I'm willing and I'm ready to just give him a whole offseason. This season's a wash. I mean, you had to throw the ball 50 times to get back in that game. I mean, what's the point? Like, I don't know why he was out. I'm sure he didn't feel the greatest. But I'm not too overly concerned with that. Like, do I expect him to be prime Nick Chubb? No, not necessarily. But, I mean, this dude blew up his knee.
Yeah.
Like, look, I'm going to give him a full off season to come back healthy next year.
No, I want to do that as well. And I hope the Browns feel the same. And running backs, like when you look around the league and you're saying, where did they find Jaleel McLaughlin, right? Where did Chase Brown come from Cincinnati? You can find running backs mid-round to kind of supplement Nick Chubb. And you're right. If you find a guy that's just an upgrade a little on Jerome Ford, you want to come back to the offensive line, right? Usually that's a lot on the offensive line of how well you're running the football. I hated seeing that. I really didn't like it. And again, maybe the comeback is it was just necessitated because we were throwing left and right. And we weren't going to be able to run the football in that game. But that was tough about Nick Chubb. The fact that, again, they just felt like they couldn't even put him on the field.
Bro, he's Batman.
He'll be back. I hope he'll be back.
The Penguins taking over Gotham right now. He'll be back.
Batman Returns. Christmas movie. Takes place at Christmas. Therefore, Batman Returns is a Christmas movie.
All right, if you say
Or are you
so.
talking about the TV show, The Penguin?
I'm talking about the TV show, The Penguin.
No, well, the Batman's not in there. Spoiler alert!
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Batman's doing his own thing right now.
He's hanging off on the side. Penguin's getting his power
He's
struggle.
getting healthy from all the Riddler
Have you started
drama.
it yet?
Oh, my God. Yes.
I told you.
I think I have 3 episodes left. Oh, my God.
Oh, so you're about the same spot that I am.
It's so good,
Isn't
Matt.
it good?
It's so good.
Isn't it
Colin
good?
Farrell is even better than I thought.
There's a clip of him out there speaking in his Irish accent while dressed like he's addressing the crew while he's still in full makeup. It's great.
Yeah.
It's so awesome.
Oh, my God.
The voice is so good. So wait, I don't want you to spoil anything. What episode are you on?
I think I have to watch 6, 7, and 8.
No, I'm saying, like, what's the last thing you saw?
Well, I don't want to spoil.
Is it when Sophia was in the apartment?
Okay, well, I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to spoil it.
Don't.
I'll tell you this.
Greenhouse?
She just walked in and is trying to form a relationship with Maroney.
You got some things to go.
Yes, I do.
Okay. All right.
God, I feel bad for her.
Why?
What do you mean?
Why?
She was put in asylum for 10 years for doing nothing
she'll get
wrong.
hers. Trust me. Just wait.
Oh,
She'll
no, she
get
already
hers.
did.
Oh, there's more coming.
Well,
just wait.
Well, she already... Yeah, all right.
Yep. You saw the episode I saw.
All right.
You saw the episode I saw.
Gas leak.
Around the greenhouse.
Oh, yes, that's what you're referring to.
Yeah, the greenhouse. He was out the greenhouse. Yeah,
yeah.
that one.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I was looking hard for a Poison Ivy reference there. Didn't get it, but that's okay. That's okay. That's all right. Oh, it gets spicy. It gets good. It gets really good. All right. So that update on the Penguin there without spoiling anything. You're right. Nick Chubb has come back from it before. You don't like seeing it. Yeah, and I hope, let's just say the uncomfortable part of it, they shouldn't re-sign him. The uncomfortable truth that I don't want to say, when you look at numbers, you should not re-sign Nick Chubb. Now, I don't want him to play football anywhere else. Whatever you get out of him is a bonus. I can say that. Andrew Berry cannot. And the thing is, how much of all the other factors going on right now play into Nick Chubb's future? What am I talking about? It's not been easy to be a Browns fan, all right? We've had to deal with this albatross of Deshaun Watson. Can the team give us a little something here? A little token of appreciation. And that would be, for some of us, re-signing Nick Chubb. Can they do that? I don't know. But the uncomfortable part, again, talking about 5 games coming back off a knee injury. If you had to make that decision today, strictly off of football, knowing you can pick running backs about a dime a dozen coming out of the draft, in an era where, running backs are important, you got the elite guys, that needle's pointing towards no. And I don't know.
I do think.
I hope that's not true. I really hope that's not true.
I do think there is something, and there's no formula to calculate what's more valuable. Paying somebody else that money that's going to be potentially more productive, or paying the guy that is a total locker room embodies Cleveland, right? I mean, you talk about what Houston did with Case Keenum. Now I understand that's a quarterback. You're not really looking at Nick Chubb to mentor someone necessarily, but I mean, I don't know. Like, is that money worth it for a guy who's been here when we were trash and has been here at our heights in 2020 when we won a playoff game and meant so much to this team?
Well, the other thing is, when you talk about the sanctity of the team,
I mean, you got to give him one more year.
Well, that's what I would say. Like, how do you go to the rest of these guys and say, we're in this with you and all that, but it's also hired guns and we're going to drop you at the drop of a hat if needed if you're not producing? There's a fine line. There's a lot of guys that locker room likes, but if they're not helping you win, then what's their point of being there? The hope is that Nick Chubb can get back to that. And I hope that there's going to be little glimpses. You know what I just want, and this is unfair, but I hope this happens. He just rips off some 35-yard touchdown run at some point of the season, and we can shut this all down. Last night was a tough game to watch Nick Chubb just standing on the sidelines with a jacket on and then putting the graphic up there, and he had been there in 24 straight plays. I don't like seeing that. I hated seeing that. I really did. It was one of the things that made my good, the bad, and the ugly. Ryan, is that time? Let's run through it. In fact, I got a couple things to add from Mike on the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let's get to it. Let's go. The good, the bad, and the ugly. So the thing about a loss, there's usually more bad and ugly, but you had some good. You had some good in this game. We start. Number one on my good is Denzel freaking Ward. That guy is on his way to a first-team All-Pro. Again, another injury. Sucks. But he just continues to make elite plays. And especially with the receiving core that I talked about yesterday, that height. And they didn't even use that, but they had Troy Franklin. I forgot about him. I really like Troy Franklin coming out of Oregon. They had height all over the place. And he had lockdown for most of the game. Forcing the interception, getting his own interception, which was a chuck job up from Bo Nix, and he just had to make a play, but I ain't wishing away interceptions there. Denzel Ward is an elite corner every time he plays on Sunday. I think we're reminded that. The problem is he ain't playing on Sunday all the time anymore. And now we got another injury we got to worry about here.
Yep. So, friendly reminder, he did not crack the top 100 in the NFL
That's
this year.
Your point, too. That'll be changed next year for sure. Number one on the good, without a doubt, is Denzel Ward. Number two for me, Jerry Jeudy revenge game. And I sent the tweet out. I wanted him to go plant a flag right there in the middle of the field. Now, we didn't win the game, so he didn't get a chance to do that. But them booing Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy sucks chance. And I loved it. He's standing on the bench going, bring it on. You know, he can walk tall today. He can walk around, his shoulders up a little bit. He didn't win the game, but that was electric from Jerry Jeudy. And, you know, with them making that trade, with them signing him to the deal, that's the vision that you have. That is the vision that you look at and you say, can Jerry Jeudy be your number one receiver? Games like that make you feel like, yeah, separation. And the other thing, they beat some good corners. Yesterday, in our Monday report card, Levi Wallace and Pat Surtain are two of the best corners graded in the NFL. And he torched them for a 200 and a touchdown. 205.
35.
235, sorry. Over 200.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. And I know you always got to have the one long touchdown, which he did, but he was impactful on other throws. I'm going to add Elijah Moore to that. Yeah. Some of those sideline routes, some of those balls from Jameis Winston to pick up first downs, I'll put the receiving core in there. But I said number two for me on the good was Jerry Jeudy revenge game. He was electric. He was really good.
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier in the show. Just you're finally scheming guys open constantly, and that's something we haven't seen this season. And on the drive here, you know, I thought about what that meant for Ken Dorsey because, you know, I kind of had the mindset of, well, you brought him here specifically for Deshaun Watson, right? That's not going to be the case anymore. Certainly, at least I hope not next year. But he's been doing a good job play calling. The offense has looked way better, and I understand the big part of that is Jameis, but he's done a good job.
I also put pressure on Bo Nix. You know, you were in his face. Miles was clearly banged up, and you forced a couple interceptions just on quick throws. So I put pressure on there, maybe one of the lesser ones on the good. Another good for me. Jameis Winston had some really nice throws, and they were on time, a few late, a few bad placement. But again, when you're throwing it almost 60 times, there were some throws that I was like, that's an NFL caliber throw. Outside to the numbers, outside to the sideline, with accuracy, with the placement, the speed, all of it. I saw some really nice throws from Jameis Winston. I saw some bad throws from Jameis Winston, but I also saw some really nice balls.
Yeah, that touchdown to Njoku, the first one, I mean, he absolutely threaded that. And you know what? That's what you can do when you have the freak of athleticism like David Njoku. Just chuck it up high and let him go grab it. And that's what he did. Some great throws.
I'll add this one from Mike because I think this deserves to be on the good. This team has not quit. This team has not quit. And it's easy after a game that seemed like a month ago, going back to your win over Thursday night on the Steelers, this team has not quit on Kevin Stefanski. And I think we have shut down the conversations about firing him, and to see the team continue to fight in that way, I think deserves to be on the good for sure. And it is a little bit of like a slow cap. Like, okay, good, great. You got millionaires out there doing their jobs. Fantastic. But I do see a fight in this team. I do see effort. That was something you had to watch for the rest of the season. To the bad, I put third down offense on you. And somebody tweeted at me, they go, Matt, it wasn't all that bad. Yeah, they were 9 out of 19 on third down. But Ryan, there were just some crucial, I know third down is usually always crucial, but there were drives when this game seemed to be like in the balance, where like if we could go down and score here, they just scored and we just couldn't convert on some just clutch key third downs. Now, you were 2 for 2 on fourth downs, and I think average to go, we were about 3rd and 5, it seemed like, most of those. I put third down offense mostly, yeah, they were a shade under 50%, or right around 50% for third down. Usually that's bad. That's pretty good, especially we're the worst third down offense in the NFL. But I'm talking more specifically, there were some crucial third downs you didn't convert. That's why I put that on the bad. That zone defense that we ran yesterday got torched. And I know, again, you gave up 41. 2 of those were pick sixes. But you could just see these guys running over the middle. If you want to be specific about Greg Newsome and MJ Emerson, fine. But our defense got shredded on a couple of drives there. Brings up your concern about Jim Schwartz.
Becoming a pattern.
Yeah, I mean, it brings that up. And you got to rotate other guys there. I ain't knocking Winston Reed, but when you have to put some backups in there to play meaningful minutes.
It's a busted coverage every single game. I'd be interested, I'm sure I can find the stats somewhere, of what team is giving up the most, let's just say 50+ yard touchdowns.
Well, because big plays.
It's becoming alarming.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's really started to have like 3/4 of the way through last season. I mean, you're giving up these bombs, and it just simply can't happen. You want to talk about the quickest way to get out of a game is when your defense when you put when your offense, you go from 3 and out, and then you give up a ginormous play on defense.
So, like, they call those, big plays over 20. Hey, let me do this. Which defense has given up the most 20-yard plays? Okay. The Baltimore Ravens, this is just passing plays, have given up 20. Wait. I don't know how this reads, man. I'm not going to be able to find it during the show. Sorry. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, the stat is 20+ yard plays and big plays and all that kind of stuff. Teams giving up the most plays of 20 yards. This says it's the Colts.
Yeah, but that's probably not just passing.
There's no way. They've given up 873. No.
What?
I don't know. I'm on StatMuse, and sometimes that can be a misleader. Because on this, I'll tell you, like, the Browns are near dead last if this is the true stat. I don't know. But anyway, you're right. There's always the busted coverage, and, you're sitting there when guys are looking at one another. You go, what the hell's going on? You're back to Joe Woods. I don't know. Jim Schwartz. Thumbs down, Jim Schwartz.
It's a conversation you have to have.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand. Like, it was nice and it was cool when you were able to play an absurd amount of man snaps because your defensive line was wrecking havoc every play. But now that you don't really have, I mean, they're getting to the quarterback a decent amount. Miles is still Miles, but it remains an issue.
It is the chicken or the egg. Is it Jim Schwartz? Is it your players? Is he calling good defense and they're not executing? Because I'll tell you 2 more things I have on the bad. You ready for this? The 93-yard touchdown pass and tackling. We continue to suck ass at tackling.
Can we get a free safety, please?
Well, Delpit got hurt. They had to pull him out of the game. Did he even come back? I don't even remember. I saw Rodney McLeod laying on the ground. Like, I don't know. Like, there are concerns with this defense. There are. And I guess if you want to chalk it up to say that they've had to fight through injuries, they got to put some backups out there. I don't know. Their defense overall, bad yesterday, not great. They got the interceptions. Okay, fine. And then the final bad for me was very clearly the run game. You averaged 3 yards per carry. You can't do that. Nick Chubb was bad. Then the ugly for me, without a doubt, the pick sixes. The game is completely different if you didn't have those pick sixes. And the final thing I said, that's just how it goes with Jameis Winston. That's it. And I want to, like, is it ever as simple to sit there and say, just stop throwing interceptions. But then you're inherently changing who and what Jameis Winston is and what he does. It's hard to go to somebody like Jameis and basically say, change kind of who you are because it's what got you this far. And you just have to live with the interceptions. Now, not all interceptions are created equal, right? Red zone, bad. Pick sixes, really bad. You got a batted pass and a guy makes a 1 in a million type of play. All right, fine. You didn't see a defender. That has happened to Hall of Fame quarterbacks before. But it's the frequency and it's where you're at in the game that the interceptions really come back to bite you. You're going to have to live with a couple because that's just what it is. And, yeah, I mean, that's just the pick sixes changed that game yesterday. And you want to look at it and you want to sit there and talk about the resiliency of the team, the poise to come back, to be able to fight through that. Sure, that's it. But eventually, it's all going to come home to roost. And you can't do that. And one other thing I want to look up here real quick. Team stats. Okay. You very clearly lost the turnover battle. You know what I'm looking up next? Penalties. They actually have more penalties than us. More penalty yardage. Was not all that bad. And Aikman kept saying that over and over again. It was pretty clean game, pretty clean game, pretty clean game. There were some dicey calls. And it works both ways. Very clearly, Devin Bush face masked was McLaughlin when he's going up the middle. Then the fumble that should have been a fumble. That was a football move.
Well, so that's the thing. It looked like a fumble, but under their rules of their football move rules, I was okay with it.
And then you give and take and back and forth on that. But we had 3 turnovers. They had 2. We had 3 interceptions. Nobody fumbled yesterday. Nobody lost fumble or anything like that. And they had 2 defensive touchdowns. You won time of possession. That's another thing. You outgained them. I don't want to say near doubled up, but hang on. Yards. You had 552. They had 400. You had 84 plays to their 61. You won time of possession. You won penalties, but you lost in the turnover battle. There's your name in the game right there. You won the sacks, right? No. Did we? No. Jameis got sacked 3 times. Did we really not sack Bo Nix? We didn't sack him once.
He doesn't get sacked, man.
Well, but the pressure created some of those turnovers because he was trying to get rid of the ball super quick. So, yeah, I get it. So a lot of those marks, you would say, win these games. And you just didn't. All right, I want to do this. Before we go around the league, let's save that for hour 2. We'll overtake morning updates. You have anything really spicy for the morning update?
No.
Here's a couple of things I want to run through. First off, Cavs tonight, lowly Wizards in town. Did you see that tweet about Kyle Kuzma? Apparently, the Cavs are keeping tabs on him. I'll keep tabs on Kyle Kuzma.
Stop.
You don't want him?
No.
No part of it?
No.
Nope.
No.
Not happening?
No.
Nope. What are you hitting? I'll take the lot. This was out yesterday. Just apparently the Cavs are keeping tabs on Kyle Kuzma. And that just was interesting to me that the trade deadline is so far away. But I guess I was just resigned the Cavs can't do anything or they won't do anything. But if they're going to keep tabs on a guy, I'll keep tabs on him as well. For tonight, Ty Jerome's sick, so he's questionable. You might get Dean Wade back for this game tonight, but this should be a friggin' butt whooping. I didn't even look. I'm going to look right now. Cavs 12. Think that's what it is?
Let's take a look.
12. 12. I'm not looking.
Is that your final answer?
12 and a half.
16.
Wow. Kind of makes sense. That's a lot. We're at home. They're not good. You're back in action with the Cavs.
It's a cup game, baby.
What's that?
It's a cup game.
Oh, that's right. It's the final one. We're out, though, right?
Are we?
I think so. You have 2 losses. NBA Cup standings.
Yeah, we do have 2 losses.
All right, we are in group.
It's one team from each group, right?
No, because then they do. There's like wild cards.
So we don't. We're not good enough for wild card.
We are in Group C. At this moment, the Hawks are 3-1. The Celtics are 3-1. The Bulls are 2-2. We are 1-2. So if we get to 2-2, you ain't gonna make it.
All right.
Because the other teams are all done with their 4 games.
Okay.
So you're out. The point differential comes in eventually.
Guess we'll just go for the one in April, huh?
I get that's
June,
the tournament that
is.
kind of matters. That's the tournament that kind of matters. So we'll see. Over to college football. Friend of show, Brett McMurphy, updated college football playoff brackets. Are you ready?
Yes.
Number 1 seed.
That will be the Oregon Ducks.
Quack, quack.
The Bo Nix
Mother
alumni.
blank. Number 2.
That will be the Texas Longhorns.
Hook 'em, baby. Number 3.
That will be not Miami. That will be your what conference? That's the
They are a newly
ACC?
appointed ACC.
The
team.
ACC. It's not Clemson.
Nope. Now, again, they have a conference championship to go, so this could change. This is just Brett's prediction.
Yeah. Clemson's playing who? Why can't I think?
Tell me.
Syracuse just knocked off Miami. What team am I missing? Not SMU. Is it really SMU? Ew.
Number 4.
Ew.
Number 4.
Ew. So is that Boise State?
Nope. Another state.
Another state. What conference?
Not
the Big 12?
I don't even know what conference this team is in anymore. Isn't that telling you something?
Iowa State?
They're in Big 12.
Yeah. Iowa State?
No, it's not Iowa State. It's Arizona State.
Arizona State?
Could you imagine a playoff bracket that SMU and Arizona State are your
filthy.
3 and 4 seeds? Because that's what Brett has predicted right now.
That's disgusting.
Broken.
That's disgusting.
All right, here's where we find of an interest. Number 5, Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
Number 6,
Penn State.
Number 7,
Indiana?
Georgia.
Oh, okay.
Number 8,
Tennessee? Is that Penn State? Or we already said Penn State. Is that Indiana, I mean? What? Who am I missing?
They're going to make it. Doesn't feel like they're going to make it, but they're going to make it. Ohio State is 8. Who do they face at number 9?
Is that Indiana?
Tennessee.
Gosh, dang it.
10 is Indiana. 11 is Alabama, UNLV.
You didn't let me guess 10. I would have said Indiana.
Okay, here we go. So here's our first round matchups. 9-8, Ohio State, Tennessee, with the winner to go face Oregon. UNLV, Notre Dame to go face Arizona State.
UNLV?
Penn State, Alabama to go face SMU.
Bama's still in it?
Georgia, Indiana to go face Texas.
Bro.
Brett has a 5,
put Michigan in,
6, and 7 seed making it to the semifinals.
Put the Wolverines in.
He's got Ohio State winning to play Oregon, losing to Oregon. He's got Notre Dame beating Arizona State, Penn State beating SMU, and Georgia beating Texas. Mm-hmm. Then he's got Oregon, Notre Dame, Penn State, Georgia, Oregon, Georgia national championship.
Yes. Who does he have winning?
I don't think he picks his winner. I don't see it here.
I got Brett on Georgia.
All right, there you go. But, like, think about that. How heavy that would be of a second round where you'd have Oregon, Ohio State, Texas, Georgia, but then you have Arizona State, Notre Dame, and SMU, Penn State.
Well, that's what
the hell is that?
Because that's what happens when you put that much emphasis on the conference championships. Is because because it's the Big Ten and SEC. You have 70% of the powerhouses in there, and then you have 1 or 2 good teams in the other division or other conferences.
See, but like the problem is, even if you reseeded, Ohio State is the lowest seed to still make it to the second round. So you play Oregon regardless. Here's what you got to watch tonight. Would they sneak us up to 6 or 7? Would you put Ohio State ahead of Penn State? We beat them.
No.
Would you put Ohio State ahead of Georgia? Would you put them ahead of Notre Dame?
No.
Okay.
Definitely not Notre Dame.
So Notre Dame, so you're basically locking Notre Dame into the 5 seed, right? Again, take out the top 4 conferences.
They would get a bye if they were in a conference.
Right. But okay, lock them into 5.
Right.
So then you ask yourself, and this is the only thing I'm going to say about this committee, would they sit there and make Ohio State 6 or 7 just so they avoid Oregon? I think they would.
You know, this could all be solved if you would have beat Michigan.
again.
So we're going to reward Ohio State for losing to Michigan?
Hey, they got a 5-star quarterback yesterday. It's funny that they announced that the kid signed. Would that committee do that to avoid them having to play Oregon in the second round? I think they would.
Yeah, of course they would.
Because you got to remember, this committee is going to do what they want to do.
It's a joke.
So here's the biggest thing and why you need to be a giant Oregon fan come up Saturday night.
It should just be honestly,
if
I'm
Oregon
so for that,
wipes the floor with Penn State.
Just, you're right. I know you love the BCS. It should just be Oregon versus Texas. Like, stop this.
I love the BCS. Let them do the 12 in the BCS. There used to be a website that did that. The 2024 BCS rankings. I want to find it. Okay. Well, this was a week ago, though. This is a week. God, when do they send this out? Why can't I have an updated one for week 15? This was going into last week, so take this for what it is. The BCS would have Oregon 1, Ohio State 2, Texas 3, Penn State 4, Notre Dame 5. If you went to the old school BCS rankings, okay? God, I wish I had this for this week. Yeah, man, I wish they would update that. That'd be great. It's on Sports Illustrated. It comes out on Tuesdays. Let me see. James Parks. He writes them up. So he got a new one? No. Damn. There's the AP. I got that. Coaches poll. Don't care. Damn. All right. Just remember that committee can do what they want.
Oh,
and I think they're going to
aware.
avoid that.
I'm
I
well
really
aware.
do think they're going to avoid that the best that they can.
It's broken.
All right, let's catch our break. When we come back, we're going to go around the league. We'll recap the week in the NFL. Get ready to go for the Cavs tonight. Remind you of our Donovan Mitchell giveaway. We'll get to time hop. We got the bracket.
Or should we rip the grid first?
We got to do the grid, too.
We do have to do the grid.
Let's do it after. Do you want to do it now?
I think we should probably rip it.
All right, let's rip it. Let's do it right now. Here we go. All right, we got day 2. Got it yesterday. Got our Donovan Mitchell jersey giveaway. Go to @MattFontana83. Retweet there for your chance to win Donovan Mitchell. Maybe we'll double up for the holiday season. Let's get another one going. All right. Go.
10 sacks for the Cardinals. John Jones' brother.
Probably. But he also played in Las Vegas.
True. We could also use him for Patriots.
Yes. And did J.J. Watt get 10 sacks when he was there in Arizona?
I was just thinking that. I don't know. He's kind of over the hill there.
Maybe James Harrison when he went there? I don't know. All right, hold off on that. Patriots, you could probably do Kyle Van Noy, right?
Are you confident?
I don't know.
Well, let's, all right. Saints, we can go Cameron Jordan.
Yeah.
Matthew Judon, probably not.
I don't know. That's a good pull. I don't know. I'd think about that one. I don't know. I mean, oh, God. Who was not Willie McGinnis? Of all those dynasty teams, they had to have had a pass rusher. Right. Yeah, absolutely they had a pass. But, like, somebody that had 10. I mean, the whole crux of this could be is if you go J.J. Watt, and then that frees us up to do something else. But, again, I don't know if I like J.J. Watt there.
Yeah. Because it had to be with the team, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I can't even think of any other Cardinals pass rushers.
Yeah, I can't either right now.
Like, all right, do you want to just come back to that?
Yeah, do you want to rip? You just want to get the teams out of the way.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Chandler Jones, again, works. Can you think of another? Oh, okay. I can do Raiders, Patriots. That's Austin Hooper, is it not? I'm, like, pretty sure.
When did Hooper play for
the Raiders?
The Raiders.
I'm pretty sure he did. I think he went there. I know he was in Tennessee. I think that works. I mean, if you don't want to pick it, that's fine. Like we could try to do something.
I just genuinely don't remember Austin Hooper ever being with the Raiders.
I think I do.
I mean, you could be right. I'm not saying you're not.
Okay. All right.
Well, Patriots, Raiders. We could go Jacoby Myers.
Okay, that's fine.
Bro.
Okay. Saints, Raider. I want to say Marcus Mariota, but I don't think that's right. Oh, Derek Carr.
Dude, I'm the world's worst speller.
Derek Carr? That guy.
There we go.
All right.
Raiders, Cardinals.
Again, Chandler Jones.
Is that not Carson Palmer?
Oh, yeah, that is Carson.
He played for the Raiders, right?
Yeah, he did. Yep. Carson Palmer. Yep. All right, now that frees us up for Chandler Jones on one of the two, which is good. All right. Broncos.
Cardinals.
Jay Cutler, no. Brock Osweiler, don't think so. Tim Tebow, no.
Colt McCoy, no.
Von Miller.
Emmanuel Sanders, no.
No. John Lynch. John Lynch, Patriots. Wait, did he play? I never remember. Yes. No, we're good. John Lynch.
Patriots, Broncos?
Yes, John Lynch.
Are you sure?
Positive. What? Wait a minute. No. I know he played in Tampa. I know he played in New England.
It's Denver.
His New England time was only in an off season.
Brother. My brother in Christ.
I'm sorry.
Let me load up the Wordle. On a
He was
Tuesday.
only a member of the Patriots for an off season, then he retired.
Let's load up the Wordle train, Matt.
He agreed on a 1-year deal, was released, and then retired. I'm not crazy. I knew it was a thing, but I just didn't know he didn't play a game. Man.
All right. Well, it's not wrong.
T's.
If we using 2 E's. We'll do teams. Wrong teams.
Okay. Yeah, I thought that too.
Shaky? Is that how you spell shaky?
Yeah, give it a whirl. Ryan! Wow! Nice! Wow!
That's the most crazy whirlpool I've ever had.
That's about as quick as we ever got. Wow. Nice.
Wow.
That makes up for my John Lynch gaffe. Fucking Tuesday. Wow. Every time it's on Tuesday. We always screw it up on a Tuesday. Dude, I'm sorry.
Well, how about this comment from Tribe? Worst defense in the effing league. Garrett will never be half as good as Aaron Donald.
Nah, okay, you're talking about one of the greatest.
In my opinion, the greatest.
In Aaron Donald?
Yeah.
He's up there. He's up there for sure.
Easily the greatest defensive tackle ever.
Yeah, I mean, probably. Damn, that's just going to rock with me. Aziz Alshire is appealing his 3 games. You say that this morning, 3-game suspension for his son and Trevor Lawrence. I thought Trevor slid a little late. I don't know. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I think it's just in the speed of the game, bodies are flying. I thought I thought, he apologized, but I guess they got to send their message there. So he's going to appeal. You can play while your appeal's going on, but they should be able to get it done by the end of the week. All right, so it's catch our break. When we come back, we'll go around the league. We got the bracket. We'll get to time up. Got it all. Fontana Show right here on Big Play. All right, buddy, let's get to it. Another week of Around League. Is that week 14, 13?
13.
13 in the books. Okay. We got to turn this around. All right, we had a full slate. 16
Did I do that bad again?
games. I'll just put it this way. Like in a normal NFL season of 16 games, neither one of us would have made the playoffs.
Darn.
I went 7-9. Ryan went 6-10.
I thought I did good.
Fans win 6-9. Okay.
Bro, what?
All right. You want me to? Here's what I'm going to do.
I need someone else to keep track. I don't. You might be chipping me.
All right. Here's where you're at. You're right. I'm just going to rip through all your ones. Detroit lost. Giant. They didn't cover.
What was the score?
10. Well, they were favored by 10. They only won by 3.
Oh yeah. Who'd they play?
The Bears.
That's
Thanksgiving.
Right. That's right.
Okay. So
right. Matt
okay.
Eberflus.
Yeah. Exactly. So we'll go through each of these games individually in a second. But we start. You lost on Detroit. You lost on the Giants. You lost on Miami. You won on Vegas covering against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Lost on Minnesota, who won but didn't cover. Jeez. You won on Jacksonville covering. You lost on Indy, won but didn't cover. You won on the Chargers. Lost on Cincinnati versus Pittsburgh. We both won on Seattle. We both won on Washington. We both won on the Rams. Both lost on Tampa Bay. You lost on Baltimore, Philly. I won Baltimore, Philly. We both lost on San Francisco. We both lost on Cleveland.
How about your lock of the century?
I didn't want to bring it up. We'll get to that game in a second.
I don't know what you were
done
thinking.
with Kirk.
Calling that a lock.
I know.
was
Jack's
just
like, maybe Kirk Cousins get 4 freaking interceptions. 4? We're done here. We're done with Kirk Cousins. I don't know how they aren't there. All right, we start Thanksgiving. It was a raucous game for the Lions, 23-20. They hold off the Bears. 3 touchdowns from Caleb Williams, but just malpractice from Matt Eberflus. Sitting on the timeout, gets his ass fired. And, again, you gave the Bears credit because they were in that game all the way through. And, for Detroit, you kind of messed around and found out. So were they up 23-7 going into the fourth quarter? They scored 2 touchdowns to get back into the game. They cannot run the football. Well, I shouldn't say they can't run the football. They don't run it all that well. 2 touchdowns for Keenan Allen. I thought that was a lot for the Bears. I thought the Bears showed up in a big way. Detroit did enough to get the win. Again, I went on Chicago covering. You lost on Detroit getting it done. Detroit, best team in football?
Yeah, I think it's impossible to say they're not.
Yeah, I know you're not all believer on the Chiefs and all that, but
hell no.
For Chicago, do you buy their message that is the most coveted opening in the NFL right now?
That's a fantastic question.
That's why I asked.
Yeah, that's the first. Barely thinking, not looking too much into it. I would say probably. I mean, you have what you assume to be a franchise quarterback. You have decent pieces. You just locked up DJ Moore, Keenan Allen.
Ownership stability.
You have young defense pieces. I mean, that's a question, but I mean, really,
okay, do this.
If you're a Ben Johnson type, then I think it's a great spot to be.
It's better than the Raiders. It's better than the Saints. It's better than the Jets.
Better than the Cowboys.
And better than the Cowboys. Of the openings that you should see.
Yeah.
Right?
I would say it probably is.
Better than the Bengals?
No.
No.
Well, I could argue that.
Ownership?
I mean, ownership as well, but I mean...
Selling TVs?
Yeah.
I'm never going to let that go, by the way. I'm never going to not bring that up to the Brown family.
You have Caleb Williams on a rookie contract for the next 4 years. You already have young pieces on defense. I think it's easier to build around that team than it is Cincinnati.
Okay, fair enough. All right, the Cowboys, they get one over the Giants, 27-20. The legend of Cooper Rush gets it done. Actually, the story was that Rico Dowdell finally got his first rushing touchdown of the season. This actually, for the game that was supposed to be pretty bad, was semi-entertaining while we all sat down and watched and ate our Thanksgiving. Drew Lock got the start, ran in for the touchdown there. 2 bad teams. You give it to Dallas at home. I guess that's fine. I don't know what the Giants are thinking about trying to hold on to Brian Dable. Whatever. Dallas, I guess, gets a win to hold on from Mike McCarthy. Did they get 2 more wins and they finish the season 7-10? You bring back Mike McCarthy? I don't know. I have no.
Come on. That's not good enough.
I don't think it's good enough either. I won on Dallas getting the cover there, and unfortunately Ryan took the Giants in that one. The finale that night, I should have freaking known.
Why?
I should have known. I don't know why did we take Miami. I have no idea. The weather was going to be bad. Now the thing is, Tua threw his ass off.
The second half, he was horrible in the first. The amount of passes he
should have known.
It was horrible the first.
Should have known. 30-17. Packers are so sneaky good. Here's the thing that I continue to not understand about the Packers. They're doing it without their receivers. Full disclosure, nobody care about my fantasy team. I understand that. I thought this was Christian Watson's season, man.
No. Jaden Reed, baby.
It's not even him. They threw, you know the 2 leading receivers in that game were?
Tucker
Kraft and Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, well, Tucker Kraft's having a really nice campaign.
He's legit. He's pretty good. Jaden Reed had the 2 touchdowns, which was fine. But, that's where you look at it and go, how do the Packers keep doing this? And another game, too, for Jordan Love that he didn't throw an interception. Yeah. So he ends the streak, and he goes 2 games in a row. For Miami, that's the futility of it. That, yeah, they threw for a bunch of yards late, and that's kind of what you set up. But he threw for 365 yards. You only put up 17 points.
Yeah, because he was so bad in the first half. Yeah. If they didn't have Devon Achane, their offense did nothing in the first half.
And I get that they paid Mike McDaniel. I don't know how there's not more heat on him for that. We should have freaking known, though. We should have known. Yeah. Miami going up there, that cold weather at Lambeau doesn't get it done. We all took Miami here and didn't get it done. Kansas City, man. Rigged?
Yes.
Rigged?
Yes. No, I don't know if it's rigged. But I certainly think there's a bias, and they get more calls than other teams would. I don't think that's a surprise. But Matt, they're not that good of a team.
Snap.
Their defense is doing things they've never done under Steve Spagnuolo, and that's blowing coverages and miscommunication, looking like the Browns. And this is back-to-back games against 2 of the worst teams in the NFL. You barely slipped by, and the week before that, I'm not going to say you should have lost because you blocked the field goal and you won, but damn, that was a close game too.
Aiden O'Connell outplays Patrick Mahomes, 2 touchdowns, 340. They sacked Mahomes 5 times. They had to get 4 field goals from Matthew Wright and 1 touchdown in the game that did go to Justin Watson. Kansas City just never seems to have a sense of urgency. And then when you see these late game type of things happen, now remind me, where was Vegas on the field when they fumbled?
They probably needed 10 more yards.
That's what I was going to say.
I think they were on the 45.
I'm looking at it right here. They were at the Kansas City 38.
Okay.
So it's not like they were.
They could have technically kicked
they could have tried. It would have been long. Carlson.
There would have been a 58-yarder, right? I mean, that's not crazy.
No, from the 38 plus 7 and 10, that would have been 55.
55?
So, within the realm, the weather wasn't terrible. But again, they botched that snap. They're the center's yelling at them, and it seemed like everybody else was ready to go. It was Aiden O'Connell that wasn't paying attention. But if they screw around, they still get the wins there. I took Kansas City. You took Vegas. Well done. They didn't even get close to covering on that one. Kansas City just keeps winning. It's hard to say they're the best team in football when they keep just messing around with these bad teams.
They're not.
Watch them turn it on.
No.
Watch them turn it on.
No.
That's kind of my thing on there. All right, we get to our Sunday slate. We start with the Minnesota Vikings squeaking it out past the Cardinals, 23-22. I can't get a sense of who the Cardinals are or aren't. I think they're good, and I also think they're really bad. Marvin Harrison finally gets into the end zone. Why Kyler Murray doesn't throw to him, I don't understand. Darnold with a couple of touchdowns in that one. And again, another game with a lot of drama coming down the wire. Vikings get enough to get it done there. They improved to 10-2, which is great. Arizona 6-6. I think they're out of the playoffs. I don't know.
No, that division's not very good.
I guess. The big drive there was Minnesota getting that touchdown to Aaron Jones with $1:13 to go, and then Kyler just throws the interception late to get it done. But for Minnesota, they got some fortitude to them. And they're also doing it without having to throw to Justin Jefferson 15 times in the
They remind me a lot of the one year where I want to say it was 2019 or it might have been 2020. They were they finished 14-3 or something.
Yeah.
Lost in the first round to the Giants. They're winning. They're finding ways to win, but they're not all that impressive, especially compared to how they played the first 5-6 weeks of the season.
Yeah. I won on Arizona. You lost to Minnesota. Our fans won on Arizona. Houston does not cover, but gets the win against Jacksonville. The big story in that game was Trevor Lawrence getting decapitated. And we, of course, know today Azeez Al-Shaair was suspended 3 games for that hit. I honestly didn't know if it was all that bad. He started his slide late. And there was a national person that was talking about a former player. They go, outlaw the slides. Outlaw the slides.
What do you want to do, dive?
I don't know, something. Diving forward is safer. It really is. No. But okay, imagine this. I'm running at you at full speed. I don't know if you're going to slide or not. Should they put their hand up? Put their hand up and go, I'm sliding. Like, I don't know. I think it's unfair. Now, again, that sucks for Jacksonville. I don't like seeing people get hit that way. Trevor Lawrence injured again. Probably won't play again this weekend. There's no way that he can. Jacksonville falls to 2-10. But again, Houston, why was this a game? Why was this even a game? Mac Jones comes in, throws 2 touchdowns in that one. Joe Mixon running it well. Why is that even a game on Houston's side? I don't understand that.
I don't know. They're not looking good at all.
All right, I lost on Houston. You won on Jacksonville. Fans took Houston as well. Indy gets the win. Loss across the board for us as New England covers. 1-point win. They go for 2. Gutsy call with Anthony Richardson. They're 6-7. Probably going to make the playoffs there. 2 interceptions again from Richardson. Ran the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. That, I'm going to take a little away from that game from the Colts. I thought that was a gutsy win from the Colts. For the Patriots, everything's what you think. You just go with Drake May. You believe you're going to be better next year. Got to put some pieces on that offense around him. But yeah, I mean, again, solid win for the Colts. I thought it was the right call to go for 2. You get the win.
Yeah, my Colts to win the AFC South pick is still alive.
It's still alive.
It's still alive.
It's on life support, but it's alive right now.
Is this her lock? I mean, talk me through it. What went through your head when you said that was a lock?
I just thought the Falcons would wake the hell up eventually, and I guess I was wrong. 4 interceptions for Kirko. 17-13. Chargers get the win. I don't know what to tell you. I thought there'd be a little letdown from the Chargers. I know they lost to the Ravens and all that kind of stuff. Herbert didn't even throw a touchdown. He didn't even throw for 150 yards in that game. They didn't have J.K. Dobbins. I thought that game actually was a recipe for disaster for the Chargers to lose that game, and Kirk just goes, here, I don't want it. Take it. Do you put Penix in? Guy. Seriously, do you put Penix in now? You are 6-6. You're on the precipice.
Yeah, I think they do.
I can't stand Kirk. I'm not a Falcons fan at any stretch of the imagination. I'm not Raheem Morris. I do not know how you don't start Michael Penix at this point. Money be damned. You're signaling to the rest of the league that you're going to be trading away Kirk Cousins. I don't know how you stick with Kirk. I really don't. 4 interceptions, what cost you that game? It was bad. And I lost. I lost on the Chargers, or you won on the Chargers. The fans also took the Chargers on that one.
That was my lock.
What's that?
That was my lock. That'd be Chargers.
I know. Well, good job on you. It doesn't count double for us. But here we are. Chargers almost a lock to make the playoffs. They're 8-4. So well done on their part.
We should. That's not a bad idea. Like each week we get to pick one lock, and if we get it right,
it's worth 2.
And if we get it wrong,
minus 2. So we used to have a game when I would host Opening Drive, our Browns pregame show back in the day. And we used to do something called the Pick 6. And what it was you had 6 games. You would assign 1 through 6. So 6 needed to be the game you were the most confident in. If you got it, you got the points. But if you didn't, you lost 6 points.
Fun.
So, I would have put 6 on that game and lost it. And you had to pick everybody the same 6 games. So we picked the 6 most competitive games. And then we'd assign our point value on that. Oldak and I loved that game.
Jameis would be an all-pro at that.
What, Pick 6? I mean, yeah, that's pretty much what he does. Cincinnati cannot stop anything right now. They let Russ Wilson cook.
Yeah.
4-14-3. Pickens fighting guys. Tomlin wants to kill him. And Joe Burrow can only do so much. 44-38. Steelers get the win over the Bengals. Honestly, I didn't think there was a shred of possibility that the Steelers could ever put up 44 points on anybody. Najee Harris gets in the end zone. Pickens, Freiermuth, and Calvin Austin get the touchdowns. Russ is cooking, man. As much as I hate to say it, he is. For Cincinnati, they can't do literally cannot stop anyone. And Burrow, 300, 3 touchdowns, and Chase Brown had a solid game running. They're going to fire Zach Taylor.
And Cincinnati had a pick 6 in that game.
Right. And there was a penalty on it. They didn't call it. That's fine. Lou Anarumo is going to get fired.
Yes.
You have to. That defense is atrocious. Yes. They let too many guys leave in free agency.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
And they still got to pay.
We talk about the money, but I mentioned it before. Mike Vrabel to Cincy.
Yeah,
I know.
I sure I could, because and I get your point. It's well taken. I think you're right. Fix that defense there, but you let Jesse Bates walk. You know that D line. You let How bad are they missing DJ Reader right now? Yeah. How bad are they missing him? And where is he? Detroit. Making plays for them. Defense is trash. We all took. Oh no, I took Cincinnati. You took Cincinnati. The fans took Pittsburgh.
There's no way I took Cincy.
I have you written down here for Cincinnati, buddy.
What? I never pick Cincinnati because I hate them. I'm going to have to go back and watch the tape.
Watch the tape. I put Cincinnati.
No.
I have Cincinnati written right here, -2.5.
All right. I'll watch
go back
the
and
film.
watch the tape. Tell me if I'm wrong. I will adjust.
I'm throwing my challenge flag that I will use later.
That's fine. That's not worth the 2 here. Another lock that I felt really good about was Seattle taking care of the Jets just because the Jets are lowly. They will bench Aaron Rodgers. There's no choice but to do that right now. Touchdown, 2 interceptions for him. Geno Smith, better on the road, 200 yards. Kind of a ho-hum game, 26-21. Seattle covers. We all won on Seattle across the board right there. Another big game from Jackson Smith and Jigba. Jets are just poop, and they know they are, and they just play that way.
They're so bad.
That's the
that
thing.
pick to Leonard Williams was unbelievable.
That was fun, though. That was a good play. Now you're worried about Sauce Gardner getting hurt. You're worried about a lot of other things going on.
What's wrong with Sauce? He's had a horrible year.
Well, they're worried. There was the report a couple of weeks ago. They're worried about his regression. And I think corner is just such a hard position to play. You're going to have ups and downs, but the Jets are complete dumpster fire. Who are they going to call on? Who are they going to? Because here's the thing. Do they not have to go veteran guy? Do they not have? They can't. I don't know if they can go Ben Johnson, Bobby Slowick, Aaron Glenn as first-time head coach. You know what stinks for that job. Bill Belichick.
No.
And I know there's history there.
I don't think so. Yeah.
There's history
hates
there.
The Jets.
I know.
He has been complimentary of Aaron Rodgers, though. But then again, that was 10 years ago.
I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to be there. I take that back. I know that Aaron Rodgers is not going to be there. So you don't got to worry about it. He's going to retire.
No.
I think he's going to retire.
What do you
I thought that about the money with all the money that he had lined up there, but yeah, I think they're done there. And they're done for the season. Just remember that for our picks going out. Don't take the Jets for anything there. So we win Seattle across the board. Washington pretty much handles the Titans. That game was out of hand so bad early. Titans scored some garbage touchdowns. Commanders' defense was electric in that game. They had a ton of points, but 3 touchdowns for Jaden Daniels. Scary Terry McLaurin, man. He's sneaky there. Commanders back on track, 8-5, yeah?
I need to see him beat a team above 500 before I say that.
Yeah. Titans just playing out the string. They'll move on from Will Levis. That's fine. But, dude, that Nick Westbrook guy.
Whatever.
He's got like 7 touchdowns.
Whatever. Bro had like 2 catches, 2 touchdowns.
3 catches, 61 yards, 2 touchdowns.
I played against
him. Not great. We took Washington, and the fans took the Titans, though. So a tough one there for our fans. We all took the Rams. Another great lock to be had. They messed around a little bit. 21-14. They get the win over the Saints. Puka Nacua back in the end zone there. Alvin Kamara is all that they have. Taysom Hill tears his ACL. Attractive job for the Saints. What do they do with Derek Carr?
I mean,
what do you do with Derek Carr?
I don't think you're going to win with him.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Matt Stafford, fine. Kyron Miller. I mean, again, it was like a pretty solid game. Puka Nacua, Demarcus Robinson got in the end zone. Yeah, Cooper Kupp didn't have very much. That's fine. Kyron Williams with a touchdown. He is a lock to score a touchdown pretty much every week. Stafford looked like an old guy quarterback. Buck 83, a couple of touchdowns, no turnovers. That is what it is. Saints are bad. Rams, spicy. Spicy.
Eh.
They're in it. 6-6.
They're not.
Don't know
that
if I
good.
believe them. Well, who do you think's going to make it? Them or the Cardinals? One of those two teams will make it.
Seahawks.
I mean, Seahawks are in.
Oh, as a wild card?
Yeah. Here's what I think's going to happen. You got Detroit.
Right.
You got all your division winners, okay? Well, I guess.
No, I mean,
the
you
Commanders.
have the.
You're right. I forgot about the Commanders.
And you have the. Packers
the
and
North.
Packers and Vikings.
You're right.
They're not making it. Ain't no way two teams from the NFC West is making it.
No, but I guess I would still take the Rams over the Seahawks.
But they're going to win their division.
Who?
The Seahawks.
Oh, that's right.
Probably.
That's right. I have in my head that the 49ers are leading that division, and that's not truthful at all. Hang on. Let me look at the standings here.
Because the Cardinals lost and Seahawks won and the 49ers lost. That's huge for them. I know the Rams won.
If it ended today, Lions, Eagles, Seahawks, and Falcons are your division winners.
Ugh.
Vikings, Packers, Commanders make it as your wild card.
Right.
Tampa, first team out. The Cardinals have the tiebreaker over the Rams.
Yeah, because they blew them out.
But do they play again?
They have to. They're in the same division.
Arizona goes Seahawks this week. Patriots, Panthers, Rams, 49ers. That lays out pretty good there for the Arizona Cardinals. So I guess maybe they will make it. I guess they will. But good win for the Rams. Hang on. Before I start talking about crap, let me see the Rams schedule, okay? The Rams go Bills, 49ers, Jets, Cardinals, Seahawks. Their season might come down to this Sunday against the Bills. I guess you're right. I guess the Cardinals would be the pick there. All right, the Bucks with some late magic again. Is Bryce Young good?
Dude,
maybe?
He's been playing damn
He's
well.
back.
Yeah.
He's back like he never left. Wait, the magic of Baker Mayfield to get them back down the field for McLaughlin. The Chuba Hubbard fumble. Was it Chuba Hubbard or was it Jonathan Brooks? It was Chuba Hubbard. It was Chuba Hubbard.
Okay, I didn't catch that game.
Fumbles it. So here's what happened. They go to overtime. McLaughlin misses the kick. They give it to Carolina. A couple plays in, Chuba Hubbard fumbles. They're already in field goal range. Bing, bang, boom. Win there for the Buccaneers. Bucks are 6-6. You like them or the Falcons to win that division?
Holy shit. They're in, dude, I forgot.
They're tied. They're both 6-6.
Wow, Atlanta
And
has
here's
fallen
the
off
thing.
a cliff.
Here's the thing. You have to win or you're not going to make it. If you don't win the division, they're not going to get a wild card.
Right, no, yeah.
The Buccaneers, I guess the Buccaneers are 8.
They still have to play each other again, no? Or no, they already played twice.
I think Tampa's schedule is this.
The Falcons beat them twice, didn't they? Didn't they beat the Buccaneers twice?
Yeah, they did.
Wow.
So here's the Bucks on the way out. Raiders win. Chargers, Cowboys, Panthers, Saints. That lays out pretty good for them. Now here's the Falcons.
I would love to see Baker in the playoffs again.
That'd be fun. I'd rather see them than Atlanta. Don't nobody want to see Atlanta make it. Atlanta's got to go Vikings, Raiders, Giants, Commies, Panthers. So that's an easier road to go there for Tampa Bay if they can get the win. We both lost on Tampa, but our fans picked Carolina, and they get the cover on that one. Sunday Night Football. I ain't sleeping on Philadelphia. Haven't. They get the win 24-9. That was the Sunday Night Football. It was a late afternoon game. But anyway, it was a fun game there in Baltimore. Saquon Barkley shows up in the second half when they need. The Ravens, Derrick Henry, I know he's still effective with the running. He rushed for 82 yards on a 4 average, doesn't get in the end zone. What do you make of Baltimore now at 8-5?
Yeah,
8-5.
They're very confusing. I had them in the Super Bowl, and I'm not totally swaying away from that. I mean, they absolutely destroyed the Bills. It's just if Lamar doesn't choke.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a lot to ask for.
I mean, again, he didn't throw an interception, 23 out of 36, 237.
I mean, it doesn't help that Justin Tucker's officially washed.
He's washed. He's so washed out of that. For Philly, the question is, can you just keep riding Saquon Barkley the way that they are? Well, it seems like they can. Devontae Smith is out. He's resting. Okay, that's fine. Goddard got the touchdown. Jalen Hurts is okay, fine. But it's literally the Saquon Barkley show right now.
Yeah.
And then that defense, that hit that Cooper DeJean put on Derrick Henry, suplexed him.
He's repping the white boys out there.
That defense is good. That defense for the Eagles is really good. I won on Philly. Both the fans of Ryan lost on Baltimore. Sunday Night Football. That's a fun-ass game to watch. The lateral.
It's horrible.
What do you mean?
It's an awful game.
I loved that game.
The 49ers couldn't do anything on offense.
Well, what are you mad about that?
Because I lost Christian McCaffrey. I lost Jordan Mason to the year, and George Kittle put up like 1 point.
Yeah. San Francisco fried
Purdy.
What do you do with Brock Purdy now? What do you do with Brock Purdy?
He's looking like a 7th rounder.
What are you going to do with Kyle Shanahan? They going to do something there? They going to do something stupid?
No.
I don't think so either. An electric game from Josh Allen. Probably his marquee MVP type of game. James Cook, that run, that 65-yarder that he ripped off in the snow. Wow.
Dude, oh my God.
Bills are they better than the Eagles? Let's do it with this. Detroit ranked these teams. Detroit, Philadelphia, the Bills, the Chiefs.
So I'm ranking them. I'm not saying who I think is going to go to the Super Bowl because...
Yeah, rank them however you want. We're the best teams right now. Bills,
without
Chiefs,
a doubt, I have to say
Eagles,
the Lions. Without a doubt. See, here's the thing. It's all about matchups because the Lions, I think, are hands down the best team in the NFL.
They're the best team in football
I don't think you can make an argument outside of that. But like,
you want a hot take here?
I think, are the Eagles better than the Ravens? It's possible, but what I saw the Ravens do to the Buffalo Bills, I can't just forget that, right? I can't just forget that. Derrick Henry was unstoppable. But then, like, I'm thinking, okay, well, the Eagles beat the Ravens. So the Eagles are a damn good team, but I think the Lions are better than them. But they're both in the NFC. Like, I don't know. If you had to pick a Super Bowl today, I would say
Bills.
Here's the thing, Matt.
Lions.
Call me crazy. I'm still going Lions-Ravens.
I'm going to go of just the order that we're talking about.
Bills, Ravens, AFC Championship.
Lions are the best team in football.
Yes.
I think Philly is better than Buffalo. Is that crazy?
I don't think it's crazy.
I think Philly is better than Buffalo.
That's fine, but that's the thing. I don't think they're... Bro, that's fine, but they're not going to...
kick the crap out of a bad... The 49ers aren't good. They're just not. They have all the name recognition. Deebo Samuel's a shell of himself. Brock Purdy is seeing ghosts out there, and they lost Christian McCaffrey.
Okay.
They're done. They didn't have Nick Bosa. They didn't have Drake Greenlaw. Ward didn't play.
What does it come down to in the playoffs, Matt? What does it come down to in the playoffs, Matt?
Quarterbacks.
Who's the best quarterback in the NFL right now?
Josh Allen's win the MVP. Sure. And then I'll listen to this. I think we both agree Chiefs 4. Right? Of those 4? Right there? Done and done?
Yeah.
What San Francisco does, can they just chalk this season up to just horrible, horrible injuries? But the other thing, too, is think about this for next year with the 49ers, by the way. They're going to have an easier schedule because they won their division, so they had all these just murderers of games.
They might finish last.
They probably will finish last in their division, and that will help them out next year. We all lost on San Francisco across the board there, but I thought it was a fun game to watch. I don't know. If you didn't like it. I won my fantasy games off of that, so I guess that's probably
lost mine, so that might be why.
I lost my bet, though. Bro.
I'm limping in the playoffs.
We have got to hit one tonight. We have got to hit. I'm talking about just a nice little 4-leg plus 400 here. I need something small to feel good. Right. We need something tonight for the Cavs, so we'll get that in a little bit. So again, 7-9 for me, 6-10 for Ryan. Fans win 6-9 on our picks. We turn it over to next week. We get up to that. You want to rip through? Time op's a little light today, so we can rip through it quick here. And then you want to move on, then we'll get our picks for the Cavs tonight and get to the bracket too. Let's do it. All right, here we go. Just 1 year ago today, 3rd of December. Welcome on in. Fontana Show right here on Big Play. Follow on Twitter X at Matt Fontana Show, at Matt Fontana83 for our Donovan Mitchell giveaway. I'll remind you of that. We're up on YouTube and Instagram as well. 1 year ago today was Joe Flacco's first start for the Browns. We fell to the Rams 36-19. It was only we were only down 20-19 to start the fourth quarter, and then Matt Stafford lit us up in the fourth quarter. We ended up losing that game. But it was the first game for Joe Flacco as a member of the Browns. We go back to this date, 2017. Browns fall to the Chargers 19-10. Everybody thought we'd beat the Chargers. We did it the year prior on Jamie Meter. Couldn't do it here. Deshaun Kaiser threw for 215, a touchdown interception, but he also led the Browns with 55 rushing yards. Hugh Jackson broke John McKay's record for the worst start to a coaching tenure at 1-27. It was also the return of Josh Gordon. He played, think about this. He played December 3rd, 2017 That was his first game since December of 2014.
Yeah.
3 years he had been gone in the NFL. Came back and is what it is. This day, 2017, college football playoffs, Ohio State misses. We went 11-2 with a loss to Oklahoma and Iowa. We'd end up going to the Cotton Bowl and playing the USC Trojans.
Oh my God. Wasn't that the game in Jigba had like 300 yards and 3 touchdowns?
No, wasn't that the game he sat out?
No.
Wait a minute. 2017, or 20, well, technically it would have been the 2018 Cotton Bowl, would have not.
No, that couldn't have been. That was way too early then. What game did he just go insane?
I thought it was at the Rose Bowl.
Yeah. Was that also against USC, though?
Yes.
So that's what I'm getting mixed up. Yeah, because that would have been way too early for Jigba. You're right.
2017 Cotton Bowl. We beat USC 24-7.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Marcus Ball was our leading receiver in that game. Who's starting quarterback for USC that day?
What year?
2017. Darnold is correct. He
Samuel.
threw for 356 and an interception on them. Yeah, Jack Smith and Jigba wouldn't even have been there yet.
Right, that's, yeah.
Yeah, he wouldn't have been. You're thinking of the Rose Bowl against USC.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one.
That was, yeah.
For a couple years after that.
Yep.
That is correct. This day, 2014, the Browns announced that Brian Hoyer would continue to start over Johnny Manziel. Unfortunately, Hoyer would then go get hurt. The season would be over, and it kind of is what it is. The legend of Joe Charbonneau. What do you know? Joe Charbonneau. He wins the AL Rookie of the Year this day, 1980. Batted .238, but he had 23 home runs and 87 RBIs.
Wow.
Winning the AL Rookie of the Year this day, 1980. This day, 1979. You know, we talked about that unfortunate soccer game yesterday. 11 people were killed at a Who concert in Cincinnati this day, 1979. The gates opened and people rushed to get good GA seating. 11 people were killed. This day, 1970. This day, 1967. I hope you never have to go through this, but the first ever human heart transplant was successful. This day, 1967. This day, 1818. Illinois became the very first 21st state admitted to the Union. Very happy birthday goes out to former Indians pitcher Paul Byrd. Do you know who Bucky LaSick is?
Did he invent eye surgery?
No.
No.
The skateboard. The X Games, Bucky LaSick?
Never heard of him.
No? All right. Ozzy Osbourne.
I know that guy.
We had to put Black Sabbath in there.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah. We get to Brack in a second. Amanda Seyfried, Jenna Dewan, Brendan Fraser, and Julianne Moore all celebrating birthdays today.
What movie do you think of with Brendan Fraser?
The Mummy.
Yeah, fair enough.
You know, Blast from the Past is a good movie. That Alicia Silverstone, he's stuck in the bunker. That was pretty good. George of the Jungle, not good. I've not seen The Whale.
I haven't either.
You know, heard good things, but The Mummy.
He won an Oscar for it.
I did. And everybody said, like, he obviously had that thing going on about the sexual assault and, like, took time off and he's back. So good for Brendan Fraser. He said he's in for a reboot of The Mummy. I'd watch that. Can't be worse than the Tom Cruise one. That one sucked.
Isn't he a little...
So bad.
Isn't he a little heavy for that?
So what? We got old, man. We all get fat. We get old. So what? All right. 2 movies and a TV show for you today. I don't know how you're going to do. We'll see how it goes. All right. 2010... it's a family show, so... There's a very dramatic scene in this movie.
In 2010?
Yeah. Between 2 women. And I use the word dramatic because it's very adult rated.
Does it involve 2 women in a cup?
No. We should just end the show right there. How do you do that?
That was more your generation, actually, than mine.
2010 was way late for that.
Does it involve 2 women and not a cup?
I don't know. I've never seen the movie. I've never seen the scene. I just know it's a big thing. Okay. Do you know? This is going to get really bad. Do you know what the Nutcracker is?
Yes, I do know what the Nutcracker is.
What is it?
It's a play.
It is not just a play, though.
Like an actual, like the Nutcracker?
No, the play. What is it? But what do they do in the play?
Crack nuts.
Okay, we're going down.
I've never seen the Nutcracker personally.
It is what, though? It's not just a play. They dance. What kind of dancing do they do?
Is it ballet?
Okay.
Oh, Black Swan. I've never seen Black Swan.
Neither have I.
Natalie Portman's a babe, though.
And Mila Kunis. That's
what's the scene?
I don't know. That's what everybody talks about. There's apparently a scene between the 2 of them. Never seen it. Don't know. Family show. Fair enough. This day, 2009, a television show that's not really for the kids either spawned a very interesting generation of Guidos and Guidettes.
Yes.
And gym tan and laundry.
Jersey Shore.
Jersdays. We used to watch Jersey Shore every Thursday in our house. They tried the vacation. It's done. It's over. The letter, it's like anything. First couple seasons were fine. They went down to Miami. It was great. But I want to know the generation. Like, I think there's a big generation of people that are heavily influenced by that television show. I'm just going to say that.
I love when they... grenades. They call women grenades.
And it's funny because, like, Paulie, he's worth, like, hundreds of millions of dollars now.
Yeah, DJ.
The rest of them, obviously Ronnie's a piece of crap. I don't know what Vinny's up to. Snooki was fine. The other chicks were fine.
Bow Wow?
What's her name?
J-Wow. J-Wow, not Bow Wow.
J-Wow.
That's like
J-Wow.
Janis Joplin.
And then,
Charlie Chaplin.
And then don't forget about Bo Schembechler and Marty Sharp as well. But, like, Paulie D's, like, raking in the cash doing that. All right, final one, 2004. This is a psychological thriller.
Shutter Island.
No, 2004. A little early for that. Stars, okay. Your hint is this particular actor is an amazing actor. He's award-winning, and his body transformation.
Oh, yes. It's Christian Bale, and it is Ex Machina.
No.
The Machinist.
The Machinist.
That's what I meant.
The Machinist. So he loses all the weight for the Machinist, gains it all back to play Batman, loses it all again to play Mark Wahlberg's brother in The Fighter.
Yes.
Has to get it back for Batman.
And it was even more.
And then he gained even more weight playing...
What's his face?
The President.
Veep. Or not Veep. He played... What's that one? Vice. I think the movie's called Vice.
Vice. He played Dick Cheney.
Yes.
That's it. He played Dick Cheney.
I think he said his diet to get down for the Machinist was an apple a day,
and a cup
a
of
can
coffee.
of tuna, and cigarettes.
Here it is. Christian Bale strenuously dieted over 4 months prior to filming. According to Bale, written by his former assistant in his biography, his daily diet consisted of water, an apple, and 1 cup of coffee with an occasional whiskey.
Nice.
According to the documentary, he lost 62 pounds.
Yeah.
Christian Bale's 6'1". He weighed 120 pounds. He wanted to get down to 99, but the filmmakers wouldn't let him over fear that he'd die.
Ew. That was the original Ozempic.
At the end of the film, which is 6 weeks, he had to gain enough mass to be ready for screen test for his role in Batman Begins.
What a dog.
He achieved that through weightlifting and binging on pizzas and ice cream.
Nice.
So there you go with the Machinist. Of course, Trent Reznor. Did you know that? They got the name. You know what Trent Reznor is from 9 Inch Nails?
No.
So he's the lead singer of 9 Inch Nails. They used his name to come up with Trevor Reznor.
What's that movie about?
He deals with, like, insomnia and, like, I've never seen it.
Okay.
I know that there's supposed to be, like, I think the whole point at the end is, like, he finally gets, like, arrested and then he finally goes to sleep or something like that, like in a jail cell or something. I don't know. I've never seen it. But The Machinist is correct this day in history. All right, you want to do Cavs or you want to get the bracket done? I feel like we should get the bracket done.
Probably the bracket.
All right, let's get the bracket done. In honor of AC/DC coming to town, best classic rock band. So here are our nominations, okay? Hang on, let me scroll down.
Well, so far our number one seeds.
Yeah, you pull it up. We filled some in today.
Obviously, ignore the Megatron. That was from the last bracket. I just came there as a filler. But we have Queen, Zeppelin, AC/DC, and Kiss as our 1 seeds. 2 seeds: Guns N' Roses, Rolling Stones, Pink Floyd, and Aerosmith.
Okay.
So we need our 3 and 4 seeds.
Lynyrd Skynyrd's got to make it somewhere.
Yeah, but
it's like, what are you gonna put him up against? I know. Put him in 4. Put him in 4.
All right. Don't they spell it like this?
Yeah. Leonard Skinner was their gym teacher. That's where they get it.
Really?
Yeah, that's where they got the name. He was their gym teacher in Florida, Leonard Skinner.
Imagine
as a joke, they called him Leonard Skinner.
Imagine being like, the band's named
that's
after
it. And then that's the name. All right, the Doors have to make it for me. I refuse to do this bracket without the Doors.
Doors are kind of trash.
You wash your mouth out and do not put them in that side. Put them somewhere else. Put them in group 1. Whatever. I guess it doesn't matter. All right, Brian says Guns N' Roses.
Oh, we also need Rush.
Yeah, I thought we put Rush in.
No, I forgot.
Metallica, Rush.
Is Metallica... I mean, I love Metallica.
I don't think they're classic rock, so I think we leave them out.
I do too, because I love them
RF
so much.
says the Eagles. It's not just because Lebowski. I don't like the Eagles.
Kind of overrated.
Bad Company, not good. Rainbow, Aerosmith, Van Halen. Oh, you got to put Van Halen in.
All right, that's got to be a 4 seed then.
Oh, you are going to put the Eagles in there?
Do you want me?
Whatever. All right,
wait,
fine.
who was it? Van Halen deserves to be
Van
over.
Halen's got to make it. And I think we got a lot of his other ones. Kiss, Styx.
We don't have Styx.
Floyd, Foreigner, Journey. Oh, Journey's good. Who and Fleetwood Mac. Did you get any on your side?
We have to put Journey.
You think so?
Yeah, but as a 4 seed, that's disrespectful.
I don't know.
Let me see if anybody said anything.
Yeah.
Eagles and the Who.
Yeah, the Who should probably make it.
Gosh.
Yeah, they're all great. I'm not saying that they're not, but
All right,
how many do we have left?
4. So we'll put,
All right, so put the Who in.
we'll have to put the Who.
So now we're down to Styx,
I mean, we're not putting...
Foreigner.
Are we including the Beatles?
No, I hate the Beatles.
Okay.
No.
Wait.
No.
And who?
This
Journey.
is our bracket. We do as we want.
Journey, though.
Do you have one that you have to have make it? Like, we all get a vote. The
Mine
Doors
was
were mine.
Kiss. Mine was Kiss.
Okay, that's fine. There is. We got 2 more. 2 more. Live. Anybody quick?
I mean, Fleetwood Mac does really good.
I like Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, my God, Mac.
What?
Black Sabbath.
Oh, I said, yeah, we got to put Ozzy in.
That should be a
Black
1 seed.
Put them in.
That should be a
them
1
in group.
seed.
I put them in group 1. That's fine.
Oh, my God, that should be
I
a
do
1
love
seed.
I do love Sabbath. Although, do you want a hot take?
Sure.
NIB, Nativity in Black, like their album, but the song NIB is better with Ozzy when he does it with Primus. Have you ever heard the Primus? And I'm not a huge Primus guy. Well, like Les Claypool, they do NIB. It's better.
All right, so
It's
we...
better. But War Pigs is
Oh, my gosh.
War Pigs is so good.
We need one more.
Oh, shoot. I lost where I was at. Anybody in the chat? Any more in the chat?
Yeah, Marshall says he likes Sabbath, but they're kind of like metal. Kind of like Metallica.
Charles says Steely Dan.
Oh, yeah, he did say Steely Dan.
Put
Steely
Steely
Dan's
Dan.
there, right? Steely Dan?
Do you know where they got the name Steely Dan?
And apparently Kiss is glam rock.
I agree, but, you know,
Well,
man, it sucks we didn't put Boston in there. Boston is like the quintessential classic dad rock.
We could have done like
We could have done 32.
32.
We could have done 32. Sorry, we just got to do 16. Steely Dan's fun.
All right. Then we're set. I don't want any flack.
Send it all to Ryan Tyler 33. All right, let's go Cavs. I don't like the spread for tonight. 16.5 is a lot of points. But let's just get one to go through tonight. All right? Let's get one to go through. Here we go. Over-under is 234.5 for tonight. All right? See what we got. I'm just going to rip some over-unders here for some player props for you. Okay? Donovan Mitchell, 26.5. Darius, 20.5. Evan Mobley, 17.5. Jared Allen, 14.5. Isaac Okoro, 6.5. Do you like any of those?
It's like, is D-Mitch going to take over? Are they going to be blowing him out and it's going to be a bench game?
I kind of agree with you. So I like Jared Allen, 15. You like Jared Allen to get 15?
Yeah.
That'd be his over-under. So let's do that. Cavs have beaten the Wizards 9 out of their last 10 matchups. With an average, and again, this is historical, but take it for what it is. Last 10 games between the Cavs and the Wizards, they've only averaged 215 points. Now, the Wizards come into this game. They've scored 114, 96, 108, 103, 96, 106, and 104. Their highest point total in almost a month was 117. They're also on a god-awful losing streak. They've lost 10 straight. Of their last 10 games, the over has only hit 4 of their last 10 games. And those unders have not all been that high. So the fact that this is at 234 assumes that the Cavs are going to blow them out and put up a lot of points. So I'm going to take the under tonight on that one, all right? Kyle Kuzma out. Not going to play. Jordan Poole's their leading scorer. Washington is just 3-10-1 against the spread their last 14 games. As I mentioned, they're on a 10-game losing streak. They're on a 9-game losing streak against us. They've not won their last 5 games here at home. For the Cavs, 6-2 against the spread their last 8 games. I'd like a little over-under. See, the under, 10 out of the last 14 games against the Wizards, but the over is hitting 6 out of their last 9. You're telling me 234, which is high? I'm going to grab the under here. Now, I said I just wanted a nice little parlay, like plus 400, Ryan. I'm already at plus 320. So give me one more here.
Okay.
All right. Wizards on this season average 108 points. Cavs are at 122.
Just do like
rebounding is about
do
even.
Like Kuzma.
He ain't playing.
Oh, he's not.
No, he's out.
Oh, never mind then. That will probably not hit then.
Rebound, threes made. Any of that? Do I just take the Cavs minus like 5?
Yeah, do an alt spread.
All right, do an alt spread. What do you like?
Cavs minus 8. Cut the spread in half. That's what I like to do.
Give it to me. Give it to me. The lowest I could get is minus 8.5. That actually gets me equally to plus 400. $2 wins me.
I think
10.
it's meant to be.
That's it. That's perfect for me. Nice little 3-leg. Jared Allen 15. Under 234, Cavs minus 8.5. We'll take it for what it is. All right, appreciate everybody joining us.
Real quick, who are you voting for?
Oh,
I'm not voting for Queen. You got me messed up. I'm voting Black Sabbath. I can't believe I put that in as a 4 seed.
I'd probably go Sabbath. I like Queen, but I like.
How is Sabbath a 4 seed?
Guns N' Roses is a little overrated.
Who said that?
And then I'll go. And then I got.
Dude, Zeppelin. I mean, dude, it's Led freaking Zeppelin.
Yeah.
And I love
Journey's
the Doors. I
close
love
for me.
Skynyrd. I love a lot of those bands. Led Zeppelin is the greatest band to ever walk this earth. No question. It's Zeppelin. They will get my vote probably all the way through this. I like the Stones. Van Halen's fine. Journey's fine. That's Zeppelin all day. I'd like for an upset, but it ain't going to happen.
All right.
So I'll join you on Sabbath.
As long as Queen doesn't win.
I don't get your anti-bias on Queen. I think they're great. They're not the Beatles. It is what.
Bohemian Rhapsody's most overrated song in history.
Stop that. All right. Coming up tonight, not overrated at all. It's Josh and Maria Cribbs. You got The Return. Got to Enter the Jungle. How the Cincinnati boys doing? You'll find out James Rapien and crew tonight on that. Big Play. Download the app. Check us out on our website, bigplay.com. All of our merch, all of our updates with the horse stuff going on as well. Follow us on Twitter X at Matt Fontana Show. Retweet for your chance to win that Donovan Mitchell jersey. Go follow at Matt Fontana 83. You got to be following Ryan at Ryan Tyler 33. Check out our YouTube channel at Big Play. Instagram and Twitch. We got it all for you. Cavs, get after it tonight. And I'm going to be interested to see what happens at the College Football Playoff Committee, man. Tonight's going to be an interesting night. We'll get you geared up, ready to go for the Big Ten Championship game coming up as well. Appreciate your support. We'll talk to you tomorrow. For Ryan Tyler, I'm Matt Fontana, presented by our friends at Fairway Ford. And as always, take it easy.